Tellico Village has these 3 championship golf courses, and each one has its own clubhouse, and they all have their own restaurant and pro shop in them. They also have a bunch of other great amenities. They have a ton of pickleball courts, which is one of the most important things. They even have a covered pickleball pavilion right here behind me so you can play when it's raining. They have the wellness center with an indoor fitness area. They have an indoor pool, an outdoor pool. But one of the biggest attractions for people is Tellico Lake, and a lot of the neighborhoods sit right along this lake. This lake actually runs all the way up into the Smoky Mountains. Absolutely beautiful. So you can hop on your boat, be up in the mountains in about 30 minutes. And then you have the yacht club here with the marina. You have a restaurant just up the hill. So this is one of 2 restaurants that you can actually get to from your boat. So all the different amenities are great, but one of the things that's really important to a lot of people is how easy it is to connect and make new friends with people. So whether it's getting out on the lake and boating or fishing or kayaking, or maybe going up into the mountains and hiking, or maybe it's just being part of a book club, playing card games, anything like that, there's a ton of different clubs and organizations in Tellico Village that make it really easy to connect with people and make new friends. So this is where Tellico Village is located, and as you can see, it sits right along Tellico Lake. It's about 45 minutes to get into downtown Knoxville, but to get into the outskirts of Knoxville, over here in Farragut, where a ton of the shopping and healthcare is, that's only about a 20 to 25 minute drive. And then the closest hospital is actually right there in Lenoir City, just about 15 minutes away. So there's shopping right here in Tellico Village, but if you need to get over into Lenoir City or Knoxville, just 15 to 25 minutes away. And as you can see, Tellico Village runs north to south, and the neighborhoods are laid out along that main road. So we're gonna check out the layout of the community, the different neighborhoods, and then there's actually one neighborhood even further down south this way that we'll go check out at the end. So as you come into Tellico Village from the north side, which is over there towards Lenoir City and Knoxville, you'll pass a few neighborhoods, and then one of the first things you come to is the Tenassi Clubhouse and Golf Course, and they're actually under construction, building a new clubhouse, gonna have a new restaurant, new pro shop and everything, but really nice golf course. And this is one of the neighborhoods that is further towards the north end. So one of the important things about being on the north end of the village is from right here, you're about 10 minutes to get over into Lenoir City. To get down into the south end of the village is about a 10-minute drive from here. Now, there is a grocery store down there at the south end. So if you live at the south end, you can be just 1 or 2 minutes away to get to the grocery store that's here in the village, but it's about 20 minutes to get over into Lenoir City. So if you want to be closer to Lenoir City and closer to Knoxville, then being on the north end is going to be more convenient to that. The other thing about it is this neighborhood in particular, Tenassi, has some of the larger lots and some of the larger homes. So a lot of these will sit on the golf course. There are homes out along the lake in the Tenassi neighborhood as well. So if you want a little bit of a premium lot and a premium location with the golf course and the larger lots, the convenience to Knoxville, then the Tenassi neighborhood or one of the other neighborhoods on the north end can be a great option. But one of the most important things to know about Tellico Village is what you have access to by your golf cart. So this road out here is Tellico Parkway. That's the main road that all the neighborhoods sit off of. And it's a fairly busy road, speed limit 50 miles an hour. So you cannot drive a golf cart on that road. What that means is if you want to have access to a golf course or a restaurant on your golf cart, then you have to live in one of the golf course neighborhoods. There's 3 neighborhoods that have a golf course. Tenassi is one of those neighborhoods. So that's the Tenassi clubhouse just over the hill there. So that's actually the new clubhouse that they're building. There are also boat slips just below where that clubhouse is. So one of the things that you can get in Tenassi, I mentioned it is closer up to the north end, which some people prefer, although it only makes a few minutes difference, so it's not a huge deal. But one of the biggest things about the Tenassi neighborhood is it's actually one of the only places where you can have access to a golf course, a restaurant, and boat slips on your golf cart. If you live in one of the other neighborhoods, you're gonna have to get out on this main road to get over here, and you can't get out on that road on your golf cart. So that is one of the really important things to understand. If you want golf cart accessibility, you need to be careful about where you buy in Tellico Village. Now, I'm gonna take you and show you a couple other places where you can access different things from your golf cart. But if you want that access to the course, the clubhouse, and boat slips, this is actually one of, I think, only 2 places in the entire village where you're gonna be able to get that. So the next thing you come to after the Tenassi area is gonna be the yacht club. And this is the yacht club out here behind me. Great restaurant that looks out over the lake and out over the mountains. And then you have your full service marina with boat slips. And the neighborhood that's back here, you're gonna have access to the yacht club and the marina from a golf cart, but there's no golf course here. So you don't have access to a golf course, but you do have access to the boat slips and the restaurant here in the yacht club. So this is another area where you do have access to some things by golf cart, but you don't have access to everything like you did over in Tenasseee. And by the way, we have a PDF that breaks down all the fees associated with living here in the community, including fees for the boat slips, including fees for golf courses and other amenities. So if you want that PDF, you can download it by clicking the link in the description or scanning the QR code right here on the screen. So this is going to be what one of the typical neighborhoods in Tellico Village looks like. There's no golf course in this neighborhood. It's not along the lake, but what people love about Tellico Village, or one of the things people love, is how wooded it is. So a lot of the 55 plus communities, and by the way, Tellico Village is not a 55 plus community, but it is set up primarily as a retirement community, but not technically 55 plus. But a lot of the other 55 plus communities, or the communities that have all the amenities, there are hardly any trees. You know, they've just been kind of clear cut during development, but Tellico Village is very wooded, tons of trees everywhere. So even these lots that, you know, maybe don't back up to the golf course or back up to the lake are going to have trees around them, and you're going to be able to get some privacy if you want. If that's important to you, you're going to be able to get some privacy in your backyard, you know, maybe back up to a wooded area or something like that. So this is just kind of that wooded feel that Tellico Village has. So up at the north end of the community, you have the Tenasseee Golf Course, then you have the Yacht Club after that, and right here in the middle of the community, you actually have a ton of different stuff. You have this area that has the Wellness Center, and in the Wellness Center, they have, you know, fitness equipment, weight training equipment, cardio equipment. They have group fitness classes, an indoor pool, and then actually right down the hill from here in the next neighborhood over, you have another recreation area that has an indoor gym. It has actually an outdoor pool there, and then more tennis and pickleball courts. And then up here at this area is where the pickleball pavilion is, and a bunch more outdoor pickleball courts, and you do have some tennis courts. And then you also have a medical office right here behind me with a physical therapist on site as well. And then back through the woods here, you have one of the entrances to a walking trail, and there's several walking trails throughout the village. So this is just one of the entrances, and this, you actually have a little paved trail that wraps around the back here as well. But then just down the hill from here, you have a ton more stuff. There's a bunch of restaurants down there. So you have the restaurants that are in the pro shops, and then the Yacht Club restaurant as well, that are Tellico Village restaurants. And then you have a bunch of restaurants right here in the middle that are not run by Tellico Village, but they're right here in the community. And there's, you know, different things. There's a Thai restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, there is an Italian restaurant, and actually a bunch of different stuff down there. And then you have several churches as well. So you have several churches in the middle of the community and restaurants, and then you have other business offices. There's a bank down there. There's a gas station right in the community. There's a grocery store at the far end. I'm gonna take you down there in just a second to show you where the grocery store is. A ton of different stuff. And then with the other things that are down at the far south end that we'll show you, you can pretty much stay here and never leave. But as I already mentioned, if you want to get over into Lenoir City or Knoxville, it's just about a 15 to 25 minute drive. And again, if you want to see a PDF breakdown of all the fees associated with living in Tellico Village, including the fees for using all these different rec facilities, the pickleball courts and everything like that, you can scan the QR code on the screen here or click the link in the description below, and that'll take you to a webpage where you can simply download that PDF. So we've looked at some of the typical wooded lots in Tellico Village, some of the golf front lots, but if you're looking for a lakefront lot in Tellico Village, a lakefront home, like the ones out here to my left, there's something that is really important to understand, and that is most of the lakefront properties were developed 20 plus years ago. You know, the first homes in Tellico Village were built back in the late 1980s, and of course the best lots were oftentimes the first ones to be built on. So there really are not any good buildable lake lots left in the community. There are a couple that are still left, but it's really hard to get one if you're looking to build a new home. And if you're looking to buy a lakefront home, a lot of these homes are going to be 20 plus years old, which means they're great homes, but they're outdated. So what we've done, and by the way, my name is Forrest McCullough. If this is your first time on this channel, my name is Forrest McCullough. My real estate team has helped hundreds of people make the move to Tennessee, and we've helped dozens of people move right here to Tellico Village. And this is a challenge that a lot of people are running into, that a lot of the best homes, including lakefront homes, a lot of the best properties are just outdated. And so what we've done is we've partnered with one of the top custom home builders in the area to do renovations on these Tellico Village, these premium Tellico Village homes. So if you're looking for a premium lakefront property, doing a renovation is really one of the bbest options. You can get an incredible lot, an incredible lakefront lot with incredible views, and have a nice home, but it's just probably going to be outdated, and you're going to need to do some updates. But one of the challenges that a lot of our clients run into is they just don't feel comfortable doing a renovation. So that's why we have partnered with one of the top custom home builders to really give you a personalized process of evaluating the options and going through a personalized design process so you understand exactly what the renovation could be and what each home could be once renovated. So if you're looking for one of those premium lakefront properties or maybe a premium golf course property and you're interested in that renovation process, that's one of the options that we do have for you. The next golf course we come to is called Tellico, and this is the one that's towards the center of Tellico Village, and this is going to be the only other golf course in the main part of the village. I'll show you Kahidi, which is kind of that south end, but Tellico has an additional event center that sits here and looks out over this green and fairway behind me, and then of course the clubhouse with the pro shop and the restaurant. It has a driving range and a putting green here as well. But Tellico is one of the other neighborhoods. If you want to be accessible to a golf course and a restaurant on your golf cart, then Tellico is one of the other neighborhoods that you're going to be able to get that. That neighborhood that I was just in along the lake is actually in Tellico as well. But the difference in Tellico and Tanasi is you don't have community boat slips available. So if you live right on the lake, you can get over to the golf course and the lake, but there aren't community boat slips like there are over in Tanasi. But this is one of the areas, you can hop on your golf cart, get over to the course, get over to the restaurant at the pro shop. And again, if you want to see the fees associated with golf and the other fees in the community, you can click that link in the description to download that PDF. So this is the grocery store that's right here in Tellico Village, and this is at the south end. So if you live over on the south end, this will be right next to you. From the north end, this is about a 10-minute drive to get to. But on the north end, 10-minute drive to get here or 10-minute drive to get to a grocery store over in North City. And then across the street from here, you have Sloan's Home Store, which is sort of like a small Home Depot. You also have a Dollar General across the street there. So as you can see, a ton of stuff here in the community with the grocery store, all the other stuff in the center of the community, the Dollar General, the Home Store. So you really have access to pretty much everything you need on a weekly basis. And by the way, I don't think I mentioned this before, but one of the things that's over in Knoxville, about 25 minutes from here, is Costco. So if you want to be able to get over to Costco, if you're wondering where that is, that's about 25 minutes away. So I discussed the importance of understanding the renovation option for lakefront properties or even golf course properties for that matter, because there really aren't any good lakefront or golf course lots left. So what you're looking at is typically buying a resale home and potentially doing a renovation. But there are plenty of lots left. Well, I shouldn't say plenty. There are not that many lots left in Tellico Village, but there are some lots left in Tellico Village that you can still build on. And a lot of them are going to be in this south section of the community where I am now. I mean, you can see the street has quite a few lots left along it, but there's a couple things that are really important to understand. One of the things is Tellico Village has well over 6,000 home sites total, and there are only a few hundred left. So while there are a few hundred home sites left, there are a ton of homes being built, and that's really not very many compared to the size of the community overall. So here in the next couple of years, it's going to be really hard to find new home sites and new homes in Tellico Village. So that's one of the important things to understand. But really the most important thing to understand is if you want a brand new home in Tellico Village, what you see online is not everything. So if you're looking on Zillow or Realtor or Redfin or anything like that, and you're not seeing anything that really fits what you're looking for, it's probably because you're not seeing everything. So what happens is a lot of these new homes, and there's a couple of new homes back here. All of these were actually just built within the past few months or so. But what you might not realize is there are options that are never going to be listed online anywhere. So the way this works is builders own a lot of the lots in Tellico Village. They build homes on them, they list them to sell. But what happens is a lot of the time we're able to get you access to homes before they're ever listed on the market, homes that are under construction or maybe haven't even broken ground yet. And what that allows you to do is find a home that better fits what you need. You can find a lot of the times the homes that are on the best lots, kind of like this one right here that just back up to this private wooded area and you just have complete privacy around you. A lot of times the homes that are on these best lots will sell before they ever even hit the market. And a lot of the times you're able to make selections and really make the home exactly what you want it to be. So this is really important to understand. If you are looking for a particular type of home on a particular type of lot, then you're probably going to have to try to find something that is either not yet listed yet or do a new build from the ground up on a lot that works for you and then be able to choose all your selections. So if you want my team to help you out with that, again, it's super easy to connect with us. You can book a Zoom call at the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on the screen here. And we can talk to you in more detail. I mean, we have connections with the builders, but the most important thing is to talk with you in more detail about what you're personally looking for and go through all the ins and outs of this process of buying a new home, whether it's under construction or not yet started yet. So again, if you are interested in that option, it's super easy to connect with us by clicking that link in the description or scanning the QR code to book a Zoom call. This next area is the Kahidi community, and this is gonna be that area that is geographically separate from the main part of the village. So the location of it is about 20 minutes further south from where that main part of the village is. So to get up there to the grocery store, the wellness center, anything like that, you're about 20 minutes away. To get over into Knoxville, you're about 45 minutes away. But actually the closest city is Maryville, which is just about 30 minutes the other direction. So it's a little bit further out, but then one of the other major differences, and by the way, I'm gonna tell you something that is unique about this that you really don't get in any of the other parts of the area. But one of the other major differences is you don't have quite as much around here as far as the different amenities. So you do have the Kahidi golf course, which is the third golf course. It has a driving range, the pro shop with the restaurant attached to it as well. But as far as the other amenities, really the only other things you have is an outdoor pool and a small fitness center. So this fitness center is very small compared to the wellness center over there in the main part of the village. And then you have a few tennis and pickleball courts, but not as much as the main part of the village up there. So it kind of has a lot of the same stuff, just a much smaller scale than the main part of the village. But really the one thing, oh, and by the way, it does have the lake right here. So it sits right along Tellico Lake still. It has community boat slips. There are home sites that sit out along the lake, and then you can have a boat at the community boat slips as well. But really the biggest thing that stands out from the main part of the village is this is the most golf cart friendly area in all of Tellico Village. So anywhere you live in here, you're gonna be able to take your golf cart, get over to this pro shop, get over to the pickleball courts, or get down to your boat slip down at the marina. So those are really the main differences in Kahidi versus the main part of the village. So if you want an area that's super golf cart friendly and you're okay with being a little bit further out from town, Kahidi can be a great option. And by the way, there is a grocery store just about 10 minutes out from Kahidi. So pretty convenient to get over to the grocery store, just a little bit further if you want to get over into town. If you are thinking about making the move to Tellico Village, again, my name is Forrest McCullough. My real estate team has helped hundreds of people make the move to Tennessee, including dozens of people right here to Tellico Village. And if you want us to help you evaluate the different options for all these different communities, again, it's super easy to connect with us. You can book a Zoom call by clicking the link in the description or scanning the QR code on the screen here. But it's not just about evaluating the different areas and the different communities. It's also really important to understand all your different options when it comes to housing. It's not just as simple as looking at the MLS or looking at Zillow or something like that. There are options that are never going to be listed online. So it's important not only to evaluate the different areas, the different communities, but also to understand what your options are when it comes to finding that perfect new home. You know, whether it's renovation options like we discussed with those lake homes, whether it's the different options for unlisted off-market properties for the new homes. It's really important to understand all those different options. So again, if you want us to help you evaluate these different areas, get you connected with different builders and get you access to all these different options, book that Zoom call by clicking the link in the description, scanning the QR code on the screen here. Other than that, I will see you on the next video.